How you doing today? I'm just coming to you again from the Warrior Healing Center here in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Doors are always open to veterans. Come on in. Let us get to know you and get acquainted with you. A lot of services that happen towards the vets and for the vets here at the Warrior Healing Center. So please, if you get a chance, stop on by if you're local. That'd be great. Hey, well, listen, I'm just sitting here today, very privileged, humble. I'd like to talk to you about something I attempted to talk about not too long ago, and I was having some difficulties with the feed, and I wasn't able to do it. And so I thought it would be imperative that I get this out today because it's on my heart. Recently, I had to go sit with somebody that was given 2 weeks to 4 weeks to live, and it kind of brings life into perspective, doesn't it? This morning I got a call that a coworker of a friend of mine had a stroke in his sleep. He woke up with a paralysis on the left side of his body. So what it got me thinking about, even though I was thinking about it before, was the fragileness of life. We're not bulletproof, folks. We're definitely not bulletproof, and something can happen on any given day. The providence of God, they used to call it, or the circumstances that arise, the situations that unfold in our lives. We can have a peace and comfort in knowing that God is sovereign and that all things pass through his hands. Now, you can reference that in Job chapter 1 and 2, right? The devil came and had to present himself to God, and God asked him, "Where have you come from?" He said, "Walking to and fro on the earth." Now, God didn't take God. God's not a doof. He knew where he was. It's that angel, fallen, might give a response of what he's doing in his actions. He's accountable. He's not a freelancer, you see, all under the sovereignty of God. Ezekiel 18 says all souls belong to the Lord. Leviticus 26:11 says that God has a soul. He has the capacity to love and to reason and care, to weep and mourn and have sorrow. He's living. That's the point. Well, death is an inevitability, isn't it? It's not a if proposition, folks. It's a when proposition, not WIN. It's WHEN, right? We're simply dying around our spirit. Our body is reflectant that the outer shell is under the curse of the world, which is sin. Sin enters into the world through one man, Adam. He's the living, breathing soul that gave away his rights. And the world is won through Jesus Christ, who came to give a living spirit, the word says in Romans 5. And so as I looked at my friend who had given a certain amount of time, I got to lay oil on his brow and I got to pray for him. And I reminded him of a prayer that we had made several weeks before that I prayed for healing. I prayed that God would put his hand on his forehead and heal his body of a cancer that it was trying to gobble his body up. And prior to me seeing him, the impression on my soul was that God had heard our prayer. Now, when I hear that, it validates what the word says. When I make petitions with God and there's a peace that guards my heart, I know for a fact that God hears my prayers because he's living. It doesn't fall on deaf ears. He sees, he has eyes. He sees things that we can't see. And so as I talked and encouraged my friend, I felt the need to go see him literally. It wasn't a form of doubt. It was just a precautionary sense of being selfish on my part, that if God's will wasn't for him to exist and continue on for the amount that I'd like to have him around, that at least I'd have seen him with my own eyes face to face one more time and could convey my love to him as a brother. And so I went and saw him and I put oil on his brow and I told him something that was interesting. I said, faith will take you to the grave and beyond, or faith will allow you to live. What are you going to do? Now in Chronicles 20, 2 Chronicles 20, Hezekiah has an illness unto death and he faces the wall and he weeps because he's about to die. The prophet Isaiah was around at the time and God speaks to his heart and he goes back and he speaks to Hezekiah. And he says that God has seen his tears and his weepings and his humbleness. And he implies something. He says, return to the house of the Lord, go to the house of the Lord. the Lord will extend your life X amount of years. And so Hezekiah goes on and lives, and they address the affliction of the boil, and he lives. Is God still able